Welcome back, my friends, to my last brain cell. Happy Friday Junior, y'all. I can't believe that it's Friday Junior already. This week has been like fast, slow. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like it was just Monday. You feel me? Like it was just Monday. And now here we are today. And it's Friday Junior. Tomorrow's Friday, the weekend's gonna be upon us, and we get to chill. For at least for those of us who work, regular Monday through Fridays. For those of you who work the weekends, I pray for you. But yeah, man, happy Friday, Junior. I hope that your week has been good so far. A couple of housekeeping things. I hope that you all had a chance to check out the last episode of the Puzzle Verse. Yes, we finally finished that puzzle that we started way back in June on this here table. But it just got so big that it couldn't fit on this table. So we had to dedicate episodes to it specifically. And it's finally done. And it's gorgeous. I mean, seeing the picture itself and knowing what it was gonna look like was already cool, but seeing the puzzle in all of its glory, spectacular. My girlfriend said I should hang it up, so I gotta figure out how to do that. So if you guys know how to hang up or like manipulate puzzles so you can like hang it up or frame it or whatever, please let me know. That's the thing I should do, is try to figure out how to frame it. One of my first original thoughts was epoxy it, and then I thought that might be too messy. So I think a frame might be my next best course of action. It's just super cool. Shout out Ozias the Virus for his fire ass artwork. And shout out Puzzles of Color for distributing this piece. Yeah, man. And I got that back at DreamCon, which means I'm so pumped for this year's DreamCon. Well, I guess next year's DreamCon. Me and my boys I went with last year, we're already set on going. We invited four more people. I'm so looking. My baby brother is coming with me. I'm looking forward to it, man. This is gonna be the first trip that I've ever taken with my brother as an adult to go somewhere. So I'm really looking forward to this, man. Like, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah. As you can tell, I've nothing in my hands. Uh it's just gonna be a very yappity episode. I got a lot on my old noggins, but it's gonna be talking a lot today. And then the final thing, so that means also I'm not gonna have Cards Against Humanity today. Yeah, that's what we're playing. I'm not gonna have Cards Against Humanity, and the Wheel of Fun is still gonna be on hiatus. I'm honestly thinking it's gonna probably be on hiatus until the new year. I'm thinking it might come back in December. Who knows? But I'm thinking it might be on hiatus until the new year, just because I really want some like really fire stuff to go on the wheel. Because I can yap about whatever, whenever. You feel me? It's cool to have some direction from the wheel, but I want to make it's missing something. And I just can't quite figure out what that something is. So until I can, it's going to be on hiatus. And with that said, I think that's everything. So let's hop right into the question of the day. And as you guys probably know by now, all my questions of the day are inspired by things that I'm like going through or things that I've seen. So right now I've been on a binge of watching I've been actually using my HBO Max app a lot recently, as far as all my other streaming apps go, right? I barely touch YouTube. I barely touch Hulu, or excuse me, not YouTube. I barely touch Netflix. I barely touch Hulu. Hulu, I only been watching Bob's Burgers to like go to sleep to, and Netflix hasn't been open in forever. I can't tell you the last time I opened Disney Plus. Yeah, so HBO Max has been like my go-to. And actually, there's a reason why. Another reason why, and we'll get to that towards the end of this episode. But I guess we'll get to that for the crux of this episode. But so I just came off watching the original Batman the Animated Series from back in the 90s. And right after that, I immediately jumped into Superman the Animated Series. And honestly, both shows are fire. So just know that at least for the next couple of days, especially while I'm still watching Superman the Animated Series, the questions of the day are going to probably be about Superman or Batman or superheroes in general, right? But yeah, both were fire, and it's really cool watching them from the lens of an adult, understanding all the nuances, all the faces that the people are making, the jokes that are behind them, the innuendos, and just appreciating the art style that these animations had, because man, were they clean for being in the 90s. the animation back then is still amazing. It holds up well to this day. And it's so cool to see. But anyway, my question of the day to you guys. Now, after watching these shows, obviously they're both action packed in their own right, right? I mean, Superman is Superman, so all of his fights are gonna be big. But Batman deals with some crazy ass villains. Crazy ass villains don't necessarily care about collateral damage. So my question of the day to you guys is, which city do you think has the highest insurance rates? Gotham City or Metropolis? Now, there are some logical thoughts that go into this, right? Like Metropolis is definitely more of a city vibe compared to Gotham. I guess that's not true. Gotham feels like New York City. Metropolis feels like a fancier, more futuristic New York City. And I think because of that futuristic feel, maybe just because it's bright, but I think because of that futuristic feel, at least from the shows, I think that goes into like that's a disadvantage for having lower rates in Metropolis. Right now, Superman, like I said, he's dealing big boy damage in all of his fights. Like depending on who he's fighting, like he fought Bizarro a couple of times, he's getting thrown through buildings, plural. Okay, he went through at least 4 of them motherfuckers. He destroyed a bridge. Bizarro fucking Bizarro thought he was helping, yeah, and a ship was coming through, so the bridge was opening. Nigga Bizarro closed the bridge and sealed it with his heat vision. So like things like that are happening in Metropolis. But then you have, and I just mean insurance, like whether it be health, car, life, insurance in general, because I feel like you can't just do one. Insurance in general, because in Gotham, niggas die every day. B, I know niggas die every day in Metropolis, but niggas die every day in Gotham. B, every day, because Joker just doesn't care. I think one of the biggest differences between uh 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 Superman's villains and Batman's villains are looking for Superman. They want the smoke with Superman. We want to destroy Superman. It's almost like they have a hive mind. Kill Superman. The villains in Gotham want to destroy Gotham City. Do you not hear what I'm saying? They don't care about Batman. Batman is just an inconvenience to them. Batman isn't necessarily the core or the crux of their plan. Sometimes Joker, sometimes Riddler, they always like, okay, we know Batman's gonna get involved, so how can I distract him? But they're not after Batman. They want to actively keep him away from whatever they got going on. But Superman's villains, they want the smoke with the Man of Steel all the time. They cause damage looking for Superman, whereas Batman's villains are causing damage in hopes that Batman don't pull up yet. Like, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do first. I'm gonna poison the fish. I'm gonna kidnap these people. I'm gonna bomb this bank. Like those Batman's villains are crazy, bro. But again, Superman's villains are strong because obviously they had to be strong enough to contend or contest with the Man of Steel. So if I had to guess personally which of those two cities had the highest insurance rates, I'm gonna go with Gotham. Gotham City has to have high. There's no way you have all these crazy lunatic people in a building somewhere that they get released from every few months, few years, whatever, to go back on the streets and cause crime. And my life and car and things are not in danger all the time. Yeah, there's no way. Killer Croc, Bane, like these are people who are just like doing it for the love of the game. Yeah. Joker, please. Please. But let me know what you guys think. Put that joint in the comments. We're going to just swiftly move along, like I said, to the crux of this episode. I got a haircut a couple of weeks ago, right? And my barber was talking about this show, a very old show. It's 20 plus years old at this point. That's one of his favorite shows. Now, I think I said this to you guys before. I grew up without cable, which is very important to this story, right? So there's a lot of shows that people have watched or that have people told me to watch that I just haven't. I just haven't for one reason or another, right? It just hasn't been done. But this is the second time that my barber has brought up this show. And the show in question is The Wire. I don't know nothing about The Wire. The only thing I knew about The Wire was that one gift. That's the only thing I knew about The Wire. And something about The Wire, before I get into like my review, I'm not done with this show yet. I'm on season 3. I think like episode 4. So I finished 2 seasons, and there are 12, 13 episodes a season, and they're about an hour long each. Now I got my haircut the 8th of this month. So it's been about 2. It's been about 2-ish. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks since I got my haircut, right? So in those 2 weeks, I've watched 26, maybe 30 episodes of The Wire. The show is gas. But one thing I think I like about The Wire a lot, and maybe I think I need to watch other shows, there's something eerily but calmly quiet about the show. Like, there's room for ambient noise. I can't describe it, and I don't even know what I mean. Like, what I'm saying is exactly what I mean, but I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's eerily quiet in a great way. I can't describe it, but it's amazing. I think you can hear everything. You know? But anyway, the show is amazing, and I understand why people enjoy it. The acting, incredible. The storyline, incredible. I mean, if you've never watched The Wire, here we go. Let's break down season 1, then break down season 2. I won't touch season 3 yet because I ain't finished season 3. So season 1, right, starts off with a cop sitting in the courtroom watching a murder trial, right? Some guy pops someone else, right? And the guy ends up getting off because one of the witnesses point him out, and the other witness reneged her statement, right? Because she ends up being bought off. The cop smells something foul, so he goes to a judge friend of his, maybe mentor, and he's complaining about this person, going, "Yo, the real problem isn't this kid who popped someone; it's his boss." And once he dropped that dime, that like, "Yo, we're not doing nothing about his boss," this is when shit really starts to roll, right? So now this judge is like, "Yo, why aren't we doing anything about this Barksdale character? Barksdale. Who is Avon Barksdale? You feel me?" And niggas is like, "Yo, what you mean? Like, we know nothing about no Avon Barksdale." The judge is like, "Well, you better start learning something about Avon Barksdale, right?" So all because this cop said something to this judge, this show basically starts off. And Avon Barksdale is basically the kingpin. You feel me? He is running shit. All right, he's got the hood locked down when it comes to his drugs and shit. You feel me? Like, niggas don't have to fuck with Avon Barksdale shit. But this cop, he is hell bent on making sure Avon gets locked up, right? So mad shit happens. You feel me? I mean, mad people get popped. The one witness at the trial, he ends up getting popped, which really spurs some other stuff, right? There's so much crazy shit that goes on. So you eventually meet a character named Omar. And Omar is this gay thug nigga, and I don't mean any disrespect. I literally mean he is gay, and he's a thug ass nigga, right? And he be running down on Avon's people, stealing their shit. He's almost like a mixed moral Robin Hood, if you would, right? Because he's like, I'm not robbing innocent people. I ain't even robbing businesses. I'm robbing drug dealers. You feel me? So because he robbed Avon's people, Avon's like, revenge time, dog. So they've been looking for Omar, but Omar stay laying low, especially when you know the heat is on him. He won't pop out unless it's absolutely necessary. You feel me? But Omar got this dude that he fucking with, right? And his dude ain't as cautious as Omar. So these little young niggas who run drugs for Avon, right? They end up seeing Omar's dude, and they called the big homies like, "Yo, we found him. This nigga's right here." Big homie said, "Say less." They roll up on him, get the confirmation, snagged him, fucked him up, murked his ass. Yeah, that nigga, he dead died. Yeah, he was, ooh, yeah, he got fucked up. Yeah, RIP to him. So now Omar is tight, and he's like, I gotta get revenge. Meanwhile, right, there's a crackhead. His name is, you know what? I'm not gonna do season 2 here. We're gonna do season 1. There's a crackhead, right? His name is Bubbles, right? And Bubbles got this white homie that he's trying to like put on to how to run game in the streets, right? He's like, yo, we got this counterfeit bills. You got to run it this way, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get these drugs, blah, 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 boom, 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 right? So Bubbles go run the play with the counterfeit bills. He get the drugs. He pull back up on the white homie like, yo, I told you it's how you do it, right? White dude is like, yo, let me do it tomorrow. Bubbles is like, nah, brother, you too green. Like, he said, nah, you too green, not even brown yet, bro. No, he goes, you not green, you brown. He said something about that. Some color shit that was really funny, and it made sense to them because they was gone. You feel me? They was off that stuff. You feel me? So white boy said, nah, I got it, right? So boom, white boy, right? White boy, he pull up. He trying to do the play on these niggas. Don't end up working because the day before Bubbles did, they realized after the play was done, like, oh, someone counterfeited us. Like, how, like, we gotta make sure we count this bread a little bit better. So white boy, he trying to do it too, ends up dropping the funds, try picking it up. One of the little niggas like, yo, he's the nigga who played us. They beat his ass something fierce. Now he lives, right? But now Bubbles is pissed. Now Bubbles, he happens to know a cop. He been a CI before. And the cop that he knows just so happens to be on this Barksdale case. You feel me? So now Bubbles is working with the cops, letting them know who the high rollers is in the Barksdale organization, right? By running the plays like, yo, I'm gonna put these hats on them. Different color hats mean different things. Red means boss, black means like a little nigga, and anyone who don't matter don't get a hat, right? So he's putting the hats and people let me know what's going on. So the cops is across the street, pictures doing this and that, blah blah blah. They place wiretaps. They clone someone's fucking pager, a bunch of shit, right? So now, after white boy got fucked up, Bubbles was helping the cops. Omar's boyfriend got killed. They end up the crackhead end up hearing about it, and he's like, yo, like, we can go pull up Omar. So Omar ended up helping the cops too. Tell him like, yo, we know exactly who killed him, blah blah blah. I was like, yo, I know who killed Omar's like, yo, I know who killed the witness that told like, yo, this little nigga or this dude killed another dude, right? He's like, yo, I know who did it. So now he helping the cops too. More crazy shit goes down. You feel me? Like, they try to run a play to find some of the drugs from Barksdale. Barksdale had he had a club, right? That hit the name on the paper for the club was like, yo, Avon ain't paying me enough. I'm about to go run my own drugs elsewhere. Because Avon's like, I'm not letting you touch no drugs over here, dog. I need a clean name on these papers. So you're not touching none of this shit. But what was his nigga name? I think his nigga name was Teddy or some shit like that. No, Orlando. That was the name of the club. The nigga named Orlando, right? Orlando was like, yo, I'm gonna go touch these drugs anyway. I found my own connect. I'm gonna go get these drugs. Orlando ended up getting fucking arrested, right? Orlando flip on Avon, and the cop who arrested Orlando, he's doing paperwork. He's trying to figure out if anyone else knows about Avon. Finds the other unit that's been working the wire and all this other shit, right? So Orlando and one of the female cops, Orlando, one of the women cops, Kima, she goes to they go try to do an undercover sting on Avon's people, right? But they know Orlando is a snitch. They pop Orlando and the popping Kima too. Ooh. Orlando died right there. It's looking real sticky for Kima, but she ends up living. Oh no, at the end of the season, they end up being able to lock up some of the players because someone else gets murdered. And the first nigga from the original dude who popped someone else in the very, very beginning, in his heart of hearts, he's like, this game ain't it. He done seen too much shit. You feel me? Like, he's like, nah, one of his little niggas got popped. by one of his other little niggas. When the big company put the battery in his back, he's like, this game ain't it. So he ends up flipping on some people, and Avon ends up getting arrested too. But it ain't over yet. The game live on, brother. But yeah, that was season 1. This show, though, is fire. I understand why people love it so much. But yeah, next time we meet, I'll give y'all more about season 2. My barber said, yo, season 2 is going to be the most boring season. But once shit starts happening, it all makes sense. And there was an episode, it was literally halfway through the season, called All Prologue. And it all made sense right there. And I'm glad that he said that to me. Because I was definitely thinking to myself, it was definitely boring. But because I had that knowledge beforehand, I was like, okay, I'm glad I know this. But once you said All Prologue, and then the following episodes happen, that season is gonna be a little bit harder to work, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, yo, that's all I got. So until next time, this is King Echo signing off.